Alright guys, so today we are going to be doing a comparison between the IQ Tour 78U and the IQ Tour Edition. These two bowling balls, and then we also have, again, IQ Tour 78U versus the 78G Urethane.
So this is going to be a nice little urethane comparison to see how the two 78 hardness urethanes compare and how a ball with the same core but different covers, two different types of covers compare as well. So we're just going to see this motion here.
So let's go ahead and check out this ball first and do a little spin with it.
We're going to see how the one-handed 78U compares here at Westgate Lanes.
Alright guys, so today we're throwing the IQ 78U. So this first initial shot, I flat 10'd, but that's pretty usual with this ball. So I'm going to move just a little bit over and get it inside, and as you can see, it starts to move a little bit more. This ball specifically for me, I tend to find myself using it on shorter patterns. On a house shot, it's just a little too floaty. It's not going to move as much, and this ball doesn't really seem to have much purpose compared to something like the pitch black. The pitch black to me has a bit of a lower hardness level, which will get down the lane a little bit easier. But one thing that the IQ 78U does for me is that it will reward me whenever I do good shots. As you can tell from those last two shots that you saw right there. This ball, again, like I said, shorter patterns tend to be better with this ball, but if I do use it on a longer pattern, I'm going to play with tighter angles and slow down my speed just a tad bit. You'll notice with all these shots that I kind of was speedy with it and not as slow. But again, this ball sometimes is a league shot killer. I mean, I threw it in league yesterday and it was pretty dang awesome. So I must admit, I'm pretty happy with this ball. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I would say the pitch black is definitely a step up, but it is still a great ball. Moving on to the IQ Tour, you're gonna see a piece that can move further to the left. This is a ball that we can use whenever we get out of urethane, because one thing that urethane is gonna do is gonna push down the oil and do something called urethane carry down. And bowling balls like that are gonna be best with that. So for me, like I said, IQ Tour right after urethane, because you don't want to use something that's overly strong after urethane, and so that's why I really like this. Thank you.
Next, we have the two-handed IQ. We're just going to compare here. Way different layouts on both of them, and we're just going to see. I think mine's going to hook a little earlier, but not do as much down lane compared to Nick's. And then after we throw this for a few, we're going to move into the black hand.
Oh,
it's picking up.
oh.
All right, we'll see what we can do. All right, guys, you'll notice with this 78U that it wants to pick up in the first 30 feet, and it doesn't really do much down lane. So I've had to go left and play pretty deep with this ball, because the 78 cover stock, obviously, if you get it out to the dry, it's not going to return, but it also still wants to pick up early because of the IQ core. So it's kind of hard to play. We're playing on a house shot, but we made it work. As you can see, the ball is reading the front, but not doing much down lane. So I actually prefer this ball for your wolf type patterns where it's flat and you can stay to the right with it and play straight up the back with it. This is where this ball shines and where it really starts to show what it wants to do, when the core can actually do its job, because it's a bigger core than your average urethane ball. Also, the layout on this ball is a lot weaker. Now we move to the black hammer, and this ball I've been able to move right with and play up the back, because the cover and the core are more urethane-like, to where when you get it outside, it actually kind of smooths out the back end reaction. It doesn't pick up in the first 30 feet and then just die out like the IQ 78. This ball actually gets around the corner, gives you a little bit of skid for a urethane ball, even though it's got that 78 hardness and doesn't want to hook a lot. As you'll notice with these shots, I'm able to get it more outside, and I'm getting those more urethane-like hits where they're light mixers and they're just kind of throwing all the pins around. As you can see, I got pretty unlucky on that shot, but this ball is way better for those heavier conditions. You can grit it up to like 360 and it won't just pick up. I noticed a lot of problems with the 78U on the IQ that you grit it and it just picks up 30 feet and dies.
Alright guys, so you got to see a comparison between both the IQ Tour and the IQ Tour 78Us, and then the 78D.
So what do you think about the new urethane compared to the old urethane?
So with the harder cover stock that both these three urethanes use, you're going to notice that it's going to go a little longer down the lane. It's not going to have as much motion as something like the Pitch Black or the Purple Hammer.
I noticed that with these bowling balls right here, they also get a little bit of oil soaked up into the cover stock and they lose their grit after you surface them at a tournament a little bit more.
Absolutely. Another thing I noticed about these two bowling balls specifically is the flare rings are a lot higher and more spaced out compared to a regular urethane ball.
Yeah, even on my black hammer, I noticed from my old purple hammer, this has even a little bit more flare. So I think they might have messed with the core on this.
Absolutely.
So
this is the comparison, that video that you want to watch, want to see. So
all right.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace. Tremendous.